Welcome to the computer lab in the communication building. I don't really have a scary story, but I heard a frightening tale on TV. I was in this room with Kelsey, and I think Ben was here too. I don't remember what the situation was, but the three of us were hanging out momentarily, and Kelsey turned on the TV, and it was one of those, real stories about some, horrible accident that there were, police records of. And there was a 911 call, and when we turned on the TV, it was, in the middle of the 911 call, and it was this lady, in hysterics saying, "And the monkey, blah, blah, blah." She's talking about a monkey. So she's all, "The chimp is out, and there's blood everywhere, and the chimp is going crazy, and the chimp, blah, blah, blah." And the point when I was like, "Yeah, turn off the TV," was the line, "And it's eating her face." So I guess a chimp ripped off a lady's face and began to eat her face. So that is frightening and real and worse than anything you could think up on Halloween. So, not that original, but I'm drawing from experience, so I think I should get points for that on this week's theme. I did want to talk about this book I'm reading. It's called The Sewing Circles of the Herat. It's about the Taliban rule in Afghanistan and how the people there are, super rad, but the Taliban's, not rad. So, I've learned a lot, the whole rad thing. I knew the Taliban wasn't rad, but these people, I really appreciate them. And they have, a thirst for knowledge that I was unaware of. They're like Ravenclaws over there. The sewing circle wasn't really a sewing circle. They said it was a sewing circle, but underneath all the, needles and yarns and stuff, they had notebooks and pencils and pens and would learn about literature from this professor, and I thought that was really cool. Here's some from the professor that taught them literature. He says, "We were poor in everyday life. Why should we be poor in culture too?" And then he goes on to say how literacy is a huge asset and everything. Another thing he said was that a society needs poets and storytellers to reflect its pain and joy. A society without literature is a society that is not rich and does not have a strong core. If there wasn't so much illiteracy and lack of culture in Afghanistan, then terrorism never would have found its cradle here. He's just really insightful. Kind of just shows the power of knowledge, and I don't know, kind of geeked out over this book. If the authorities had known we were not only teaching women, but teaching them high levels of literature, we would have been killed. But a lot of fighters sacrificed their lives over the years for the freedom of the city. Shouldn't a person of letters make that sacrifice too? The fact that someone could die to learn, I don't know, makes me appreciate being here, because there's a lot of, downsides of being away from, what you've always known, but there's, a lot of opportunities that you forget. I know Paisley's going to like this. It's Another Gentleman, but the author of the book is this British woman, Christina Lamb is her name. She wrote the book, obviously, as I just said, and she talks about, encounters she has, and this is just, a random one she had. I really liked it. On the steps of a hotel, a polite young man in a pinstripe suit, several sizes too big, addressed me in perfect English. "Excuse me, are you a Britisher?" "Yes," I replied, stepping back. He had come so close he was almost touching me. "You are the first real Britisher I have met. Do you mind if I ask you a question?" "Not at all, go ahead." "Can you please tell me how many positive adjectives are there in the English language?" And I thought that was the best question in the world. She goes on to say, "It would have been impossible for this man to speak openly to a Western woman. Now he finally had the opportunity, and his first question was on a point of grammar." Yeah, so anthropology is teaching me a lot. By the way, this is their list of bans. Some include kite flying, playing chess, laughing, cheering at sporting events, wearing colors of sexual nature, so any colors that aren't light blue or mustard, and by colors I mean colors of burqas, so. Women aren't allowed to talk to anyone. If they use fingernail polish, their fingers get cut off. They get whipped if their ankles are showing or if they speak to a man, so that's pretty crazy. So yeah, just trying to look on the up. I think I get this way around the holidays, so it's nice. Some people get depressed. I don't. I get hopeful. Usually. Hope this year isn't any different. I'll see you guys next week. Hope you're all doing very well and have a wonderful Halloween. Halloween. Didn't even talk about costumes. Okay. So I'm gonna be with my folks this weekend. Probably will throw something together last minute. But before I had planned the trip, I was racking my brain for costume ideas, and all I could come up with was that Flagstaff Mall sells Snuggies in the form of characters. Ben, as you can see, has a Superman one, and apparently they have a Gumby. So I might not need a costume, but I'm definitely gonna get that Gumby Snuggie.